Hi, everybody. Welcome to Devotions today, beginning of a new week. I hope all's going well. Today, I thought we'd think about DNA, this amazing stuff. It's deoxyribonucleic acid. I'd looked it up a few times in Google before I got the spelling right, and I hope I pronounced it right. But it's the stuff that our genes are made of, and it's what conveys the messages to all the parts of our body in order to make us who we are. And also it passes inherited characteristics down the line. So someone will say, my, he looks just like his mother. My, doesn't he walk just like his father? And all this comes from DNA. And by the way, I believe that high intelligence comes down the female line. Yeah, you might find it hard to believe, but it's true. The DNA says so. So when we think of DNA, we think of all the uses that it has. It helps us to solve crimes. It helps us to find out family connections, parenthood, if people want to know if they are a particular person's son or daughter, and so on. But there are actually two kinds of DNA. There's this physical DNA, which is what we've been speaking about and which is so useful to us in so many ways, that knowledge. But there's also spiritual DNA, because in our natural birth, we're not naturally born into a relationship with God. We've got to be brought into a relationship with God. John's Gospel tells us that we become children of God. So it becomes what we were not. And we have then a new spiritual DNA. And I thought that you could call our spiritual DNA as Christians as divine nature application. I thought that was quite, or reasonably clever. Because what happens when we accept Jesus Christ is that we receive a new spiritual nature. And you can read about it in the Bible. For example, Peter, in his second letter at the beginning of the first chapter, says, through his very great and precious promises, you may share in the divine nature. Paul says, anyone who is in Christ is a new creation. As we quoted earlier, John's Gospel, to all who received, who believed in his name, he gave the right to become the children of God, born not of natural descent, but born of God. Now, Christians have got these two sides to them. We've got the new nature that when we believe in Jesus is planted in us. But we've also got that old nature, which remains there, never goes away. That's been the experience of Christians forever. On the cross, Jesus defeated that old nature. He overwhelmed it. He put it to death. And so we mustn't feed it, because there's no point in feeding something that is dead. It no longer need have any power over us. And our focus must be on the new DNA, the new nature, the divine nature, and we apply it to ourselves. And so when we live the Christian life, we often have this tug of war going on inside us. Paul calls it the battle between the flesh and the spirit. And it's as we depend upon the Spirit of God within us that we are able to reflect the nature or express the nature of God, his joy, his peace, his love, his kindness, and so on. And we have a new spring of life within us. Finally, when we leave this planet, the old nature is completely gone, and we are told that God makes all things new. So I would encourage you today, if you've never received that new spiritual DNA to welcome Christ into your life. Because the life that he gives us is the life of God. And as Christians, we share in that wonderful life of God, the resurrected life of Jesus. And he makes us new in every way. So as you go into this week, enjoy that new DNA, and may you be greatly blessed. Cheers for now.